think of a situation where you're expected to lead your team virtually. Probably you're already in that kind of a situation where you are in a distributed kind of a setup. A lot of your team members are working across a lot of geographical locations, and now you're expected to lead. Let's say your team lead or your manager is out of office, and you're the next person who's expected to lead this meeting. How are you actually going to do that? Are you trained enough to do that? Well, I want you to start looking at this video as not just any other YouTube video, but I want you to look at this as a training where you're going to be getting the step-by-step process on how you can actually effectively increase your digital leadership acumen. That's how I want you to look at it, because this is a virtual training on leading virtually. Stay tuned. Hi there, this is Karthik Sundararaman. Thank you so much for being here. It's such an honor to share this message with you today, share this training with you today. And what we're going to be looking at today is going to be something which is going to be practical, which you can start implementing right away. And let's say 40 minutes or 1 hour from now, you have your next meeting. And let's say you're watching this video. And if you're someone who's very serious about your learning, I'm pretty sure you're going to take a lot of notes. And once you start implementing this, once you understand what I'm going to be sharing here in this video, and once you start implementing this, and you can do this right away after you complete this video, you're going to be seeing that your effectiveness of leading virtually is going to immediately increase. That's the promise I have. And I hope you have your pens and papers ready, you have your digital notepad ready, and you're taking a lot of notes. And in between this video, I'm also going to be sharing the whole PDF that I have, that you're going to be seeing in a while. And please stay attentive. All right. So let's get started. So let's look at what is the objective of this training. As I said, this is just not a video. This is going to be a training for you now. All right. Let's see what are the objectives of this training. The first one being identify appropriate interaction skills. So you might have interacted with your team offline, but now that a lot of people are getting connected online, it's a hybrid kind of a work setup that we are all part of. So in this kind of a setup, how can you what are the appropriate skills that you have to identify so that you can increase the effectiveness of your leadership, of your digital leadership, and your communication. All right, that's the first thing that you're going to learn. The second thing that you're going to be understanding is this: demonstrate behaviors that build trust. And let me tell you that building trust is a tricky thing, even in the offline world where you're meeting with people every day, because we humans, we thrive when there is a natural, live interaction. But in a virtual space, it can be a little bit more trickier. So how do you build this kind of a trusting relationship between your coworkers? And there can be a lot of cultural differences and personal differences that can be there. That's always going to be there. And let's see how you can handle it. That's one of the objectives. All right, there's the second one. The third one being create visibility, so that so the team members must work and focus on things that really matter. How do you create that visibility so that everyone is aligned on to what is it that you want to accomplish this week, this month, this quarter, this year? How do you actually do it? This is what you're going to be learning. All right, these are objectives of this training. And let's see how this training, and if you're someone who's focused and if you're taking notes, let's see how this is going to help you. Let's see how this training is going to help and enable you. First thing, so build community among virtual team members. This is not just going to be, some tricks and tactics and tools that I'm going to be sharing, but this is going to help you build a loyal, trusting community. When I say loyal, loyal to the community, loyal to the mission, loyal to your vision that you have as an organization, and also being loyal to your own team. Is that not a great thing to have among your virtual teams? I think it's a great quality of a team to have. So this is something you can build when you go through this training. Second one being communicate more effectively in a virtual environment. So even before going forward, let me ask you this question. So according to you, what do you think what is your definition of effective communication? What do you think makes a communication effective? Is it about your grip on the language, or are there some other things, some other attributes that you have in your mind? I just actually wanted to pause this video now. Just go to the comments below. Let me know what is your definition of effective communication. Or I really want to know your perspective and interact with you on that. All right, so please do that. Pause this video and go to the comments and drop me a couple of words, a small sentence. That's great. All right. I hope you have done this, and I really hope you're back now. So you're going to be understanding how to do this. The third one is enhance trust among members, separated geographically, separated over time and distance, and all these factors. There's the next thing that you're going to be equipping yourself with when you go through the whole training, when you take notes, and when you start implementing. All right, that's the next one. How do you enhance trust among your teammates? Fourth one is help your team focus by keeping their goals in sight. It's seen that in a lot of organizations, uh, over 80% of the workforce are not thriving, are not focused. Even Sundar Pichai, if you think it's only happening with other organizations, it's even happening with Google. So now how can you as a virtual leader, as a digital leader, enhance the productivity and focus of your team? You're going to be learning that now. All right, this is a problem across organizations, not just localized. All right, so this is even there in Google, Facebook, and all the other big companies. So now this is what you're equipping yourself with. So please pay attention and let's get going. All right. So now for us to understand, or for you to understand, how do you become an effective digital or virtual leader? You have to understand what are the foundations of building community, because it's not just about you know you showcasing that you have great talent, or you showcasing that you are a great leader. That's not the objective. It's about you building a community of loyal employees, loyal to the company's vision, mission, the project goals, and to the team as a whole. All right, ready for it? Let's get going. So what are the three foundations that you have to keep working upon? Number one, effective communication. So I say, and I really hope if you have not yet done it, pause the video again, go below, give me the definition of what effective communications actually means to you. Okay, just do that. Next one. So let's see what comes under this. It's about communicating effectively while working remotely. All right. So let me just give you a couple of examples. For example, if have you actually encountered this? Let's say you get a ping on your team chat window, and it just says hi. You're away, probably you've gone for a lunch break, or you've just taken a break. You come back after 30 minutes, and all you see is a hi. And by the time you reply back hi back to that person is away. That person is probably gone for lunch or anything, something else, and 1 hour is gone. 1 hour is gone. Just saying hi. So instead of this, if you're an effective communicator, what is it that you're going to do? Hi, I'm just checking on the status of this work that I'd given you. Can you let me know what's the status, or by when can this be completed? Can you let me know this? Or if you're someone or just to drop a message saying, hi, I'm not going to be available for the next 15-20 minutes. Uh, Please reach out to me on my phone if anything is urgent. Instead of just a hi and just waiting back and forth, this is one of the million other ways where you can effectively increase your communication. All right. So this is one of the foundations. So I'm just talking about how can you, by doing some simple things in a more efficient way, you can reduce the lag time and thereby effectively increase the effectiveness of the communication. All right. If you got this, just let me know if you've encountered anything of this sort while interacting with your coworkers. Just let me know in the comment box. So this is one of the things, effective communication. What is the next? What is the next foundation that you have to know? What is the second one? The second one is trust. A big thing. As I said, it's tricky to build trust even in the offline world. When I say tricky, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy. So therefore, now if you're not enabling yourself, you're not equipping yourself with building trust, even in the online world, in the virtual world, in the globally connected world now, it's going to be difficult to showcase your leadership potential. All right, and when I say leadership, it's not because of your position or anything. Even if you're a fresher, even if you're a fresher who's watching this video, this training, you can start implementing this within your small groups. Okay, so building trusting relationship with dispersed and diverse workers. So just let me know in the comment box, how diverse is your team? How diverse or how dispersed is your team? I have teams from starting from Japan, and then China, then India, um, going to the Middle East, and all the way to the US. So across the globe, there are teams that gets connected over calls, and it becomes very, very crucial that we as a team have that synergy, have this value of trust consistently. Otherwise, the whole machine does not move forward. Yeah, I hope you're getting the point. That's the second one, trust. The third foundation that you have to keep working on, keep building, is one of visibility. All right, keeping team members and goals visible and in focus. So if you are let's see what's coming under this. All right, so let's take a couple of examples. So how do you keep the what are the simple ways to keep your team visible? So do you ask them questions like, what do you think is the objective for you for this week? So Monday happens, you all start up on a stand-up call, but then are you asking them these questions like, what do you think is the objective not just for this day but for the week? What do you think is the completion date for this activity? How are you planning this out? Just by asking some very simple questions, you will provide them clarity, and you are also getting the clarity on, okay, this is what I can expect to be done this week. You're getting the point? I hope you can immediately start implementing. Let's say you have a meeting in couple of hours from now. Just try this out. Or even better, can I give you a pro tip here? Even better, ask these questions yourself. Ask yourself these questions. What is the objective for me for this week? What is the objective? So what according to me is the completion date for this activity? Ask yourself these questions. Just by merely asking these things, you're going to have much more clarity. All right, so these are the three foundations that you have to constantly and consistently keep working on, so that you build a trusting team, so that you can start leading teams in an effective way virtually. Okay, so this is the third one. So now let's go on to the how you can start implementing these foundations. So as I said, this is a training, this is not just a video. Please take notes, and I hope you're super focused and watching, and if you're here till this moment, I know you're a serious learner. All right, so let's go on to the foundation number one now. All right, so let's go on to the foundation number one. Let's see how you can actually start implementing this. All right, the foundation one being effective communication. How do you I'm pretty sure that you have shared your effective communication definition, but now let's look at how do you actually become an effective communicator. Ready for it? All right, so let's go. The first one is you know let's understand the context. So a lot of people understand um, think that effective communication is about the way you speak, or the kind of words that you use, the kind of vocabulary that you have, the kind of modulation that you have, the kind of self awareness about the tonality that you have. These are all definitely can help in an effective communication. But here, if you're constantly only looking at these aspects, what are you actually doing? You're actually focusing only on yourself, isn't it? Just these are great things to have. These are great qualities to have. Your non-verbals, the way you showcase your confidence, the kind of training that you've gone through with regards to the language or anything of this sort. These are all great qualities to have. No question about that. But then there are two other important factors that you have to know. Let's go to that. All right. What is needed for an interaction to be effective? Let's understand this first. First thing is personal needs to be met. So when I say personal need, it's not just about yourself. Yes, your personal needs are also important, but the personal needs of the other person that whom you're talking to. So if you're here till this moment, and if you're really learning and taking notes, because you understand the importance of becoming an effective digital leader, an effective communicator, and how do you build your community online. If you're doing this, I know for sure that that's one of your personal needs, that you want to enhance your digital leadership acumen and all that. So therefore you're here, and therefore you're watching, therefore you're getting trained through this. But then when it comes to personal needs, let's understand these things. Right, the first thing is heard and understood. When we say personal needs to be met, so if you're someone in the team, and if you have a manager, if you have a team lead, so you expect them that they hear you and they understand you. Right, that's the first thing. It will also help enhance the other foundations, which I'll come to now. But and if you're a leader, it's not because of your position or anything. If you are someone who wants to be a leader, you have to start understanding that you have to hear people. It's not about listening. A lot of times you hear people saying, no, it's not just about speaking, you have to be a great listener. You know what people do? They just keep listening. They do not hear, they do not understand. But you going through this training, I want you to start to hear what they actually feel, what are the underlying emotions behind what they're trying to say. Understand them. All right, that's the first thing. So let me just give you an example that happened with me. The first thing is like, one of my teammates, so we are all connected virtually. So he was like, I had set up a meeting at 1:30. It was a regular daily call, 1:30 p.m. But he told me that, you know what, I need to pick my kid from the school. This is the time I actually have to go and pick my kid. So if you are not understanding or hearing them, what is that you are going to do? No, this is the exact time that we have to have the call. Uh, this is how the things work, and you figure out a way to pick your kid up. This is one thing that you could have said. The person would have still been there in that meeting, but just understand that their personal need are not met at that moment. Okay, and later on, very shortly, I'm going to be talking about what is the result of you helping other people or hearing and understanding other people. I'll come to that in a moment. All right, this was the first scenario. I just wanted to share this scenario. So the next one was, uh, again, one of my uh, teammates. She's a working mom, having infant at home. So when she joined back from her maternity leave, this is the first thing I asked: what is it that I have to do to help you so that you can also take care of your kid and also effectively focus at work? This is the first thing that I asked. She said, you know what, Karthik, I have to keep visiting my kid every 45 minutes. So I'll take a break, and if I'm not available at this a certain time, you just drop me a message and I'll respond to you back. I said, great. All right. Personal need. People want to be heard and understood. Are you doing this? If you're doing this, if you've gone through any of the situations, do share that scenario below. So how have you handled this kind of situations within your virtual teams? Just let me know. Do share your experiences. All right, that's the first thing you have to start doing. Second one is about respected and valued. So being respectful is about, again, about hearing them and understanding them, about taking their opinions, about even making sure that they are involved in the decision making process. So uh, just asking people for their opinion is a way of respecting them, because a lot of people think, all right, only their opinion really matters. In fact, when you actually dig deep, you will actually find out that people who are in that job, who are in that on the field day in and day out, actually they know a little bit more than the other people, the ground reality, as they say, right? So when you ask them for opinion, when you push the decision making capability to not just with you, to everyone else in the team, you will automatically start being respected and valued, and because you are respecting and valuing them. Got it? I hope you really took notes and you're going to be implementing this. A very, very important need to fulfill for people. All right. Uh, there's the second one. The third one being trusted and willing to trust. As I said, one of the easiest ways to showcase that you trust people is just push the decision making capability to them. Don't make all the decisions. Ask them to make the decisions. Give your opinion, improve that, and then take the final call. It's not like you should always give out your opinion first. You can take the opinion of others, hear them, understand them, make the final call. Give a rationale on why did you make this final call. Again, take their opinion, then just close it. All right. So ask for their opinion rather than them waiting for your decision. So if you're constantly only making decisions and not asking their opinion, they're also going to be too much relied. They're going to be relying on you to make decisions, which means there are a lot of stoppages happening because every day we're going to have to make a lot of decisions to keep moving forward. Do you agree to this? Do you agree to this? And if you're agreeing to this, just give me a like and subscribe to this channel. All right. If you know for a fact that every day, as a leader, as a team member, it's decision making day, every single day. Lot of decisions has to be made. Therefore, enable them to make the decision. Ask them questions where uh, how they're making this decision. Is the decision making process correct? If the process is correct, any decision they'll make, hopefully they're going to follow this, and the quality of decision making is also going to improve over time. All right. So this is one of the ways to showcase trust, and this is one of the needs. Trust. Meaningfully involved. So do you ask people like, are you meaningfully involved in this work? For example, let me give an example. So there are, if part of the technology industry, a lot of people are working in a lot of different technology stacks and all that. So ask one of your, or in fact, you should do this with every team member that you have, every colleague that you have. Go and ask them, so is this what you actually signed up for? Do you feel, do you think that you're finding that meaning doing this kind of a job? So when I asked this question to one of the members, he said, no, I actually want to work on a different technology stack. So now we enabled him to also contribute to that different technology stack, and he's able to draw a lot of meaning from that. All right. This is one of the other personal need that you need to keep helping people with as a leader. When I say as a leader, I'm just stressing upon this again and again. Leader is not because of your position, it's because you choose, or you've chosen that you are a leader. You've decided that in your mind. All right. This is a fourth personal need that you need to keep constantly keep checking on with people. Fifth one, supported. Do you are do you think that your people, the teammates, they feel supported by you or by the teammates? Let me give you an example. All right. Let's say someone's on leave. See if you can actually take up some of their work, and by the time they do not feel overwhelmed because of a lot of things that are there on their plate, if that's possible. Or can you actually get it delegated so that the high priority stuff which are on their plate are actually getting completed, provided it's okay for other members to also get their job done. So if you can showcase this kind of support, they are going to support you back when the time arrives. All right. This is another personal need that you have to constantly meet for people to thrive and bring out their best. All right. So these are this is the first thing. The personal need needs to be met. And as I mentioned, what will be the result of, if let's say all the personal needs are met, whatever we discussed, the result of this is going to be, when personal needs are met, people become more engaged and motivated, and their work results improve. In fact, studies shows that over 80% of the workforce across industries across the globe, they're not thriving. They do not feel that they're motivated enough to come to work and bring out their best. Why? A lot of it goes back to this personal needs not being met. Now that you're equipping yourself with this training, and I hope you're getting a lot of value through this, uh, let me know in the comment box. So how do you plan to implement even just these things? There's a lot more to learn, but how are you even planning to implement these things now? All right. So just share that in the comment box, and let's get on to the second part of this foundation. All right, second part of this effective communication now. And the second part goes like this. So you have now understood the personal needs, and secondly, now you have to understand what are the practical needs. What are the practical needs that people have that you as a digital leader you have to constantly think about, constantly keep looking for and look after. All right, let's see what's coming up under this. The first one being reach a decision. A lot of times, a lot of people in your team, if you actually dig deep, they're probably it's not a question of being productive or not. It's a question of are they able to make the decision and go to the next step. That's what most of the people are looking for. And you as a leader, can you actually go and give them the clarity and help them make decisions faster? Very, very important practical situation that arises every day. As I said, every day is a day of decision making. Every moment, in fact, when you're in a high pressure situation, it's a lot of times it's mostly about making decisions and just moving forward. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing that you have to understand is resolving a conflict. Resolve a conflict. How many times have you gotten into a situation of conflict within your team, virtual teams? Just let me know in the chat box. How many times have you done this? Have you gotten into this kind of a situation? Let me give you an example. All right. Uh, so we were close to a release schedule, and we realized that one of the major feature, not a critical one, but one of the important features, was not working, was not even actually implemented. So it took the development and the testing team into kind of a conflicting situation where the developer was like, no, this cannot be done, and the tester was like, this is it's a very important feature, this is already in the priority list. Without this, it can be high risk for the release. All right, this was the conflict situation. So now if you understand the importance of resolving conflict, you will know that you have to resolve this. So how do you resolve this? So what I asked the developer is, I just asked them, let's say we'll not implement the whole feature, but if I ask you to do, let's say, 2 or 3 of the user stories under this, let's say there are 6 or 7 user stories, that was the situation. If I ask you to do 2 or 3, can you accommodate that within the time frame that we have? He said yes. So then I immediately went back to the product management team and I told them, see, we cannot implement this, it's not possible. So if you're expecting the whole feature to be there, that cannot happen. Give me the top 3 things, top 3 features, the top 3 user stories that you want to see within this big feature. And if you give me those 3, it's going to be there in the build. Got those things prioritized, gave the developer those 3 top features. And you know what happened? When you start meeting people's practical needs, they're going to reciprocate that to you. You know what happened? This person, he went overboard and he actually completed all the user stories under that feature within that time. He pushed through, he got it done. So when you meet practical needs of people, when you resolve conflicts, that's when the magic is going to happen. All right, you got this? Just let me know in the comment box if you got this. This is the second practical need you have to constantly meet. The third one is develop a solution and solve a problem. As I said, I just shared a instance where I was able to develop a solution where it's a win-win for all the members and also solve a problem. So are you thinking through as a leader, as a member of the team, where you can develop a solution and solve the problem fast? That's what really matters. That's a practical everyday problem that people are going to face. Okay, this is the third point. The fourth one being coach for improved performance. This is something I really love because I, being a high performance lifestyle coach, I know the importance of performance. Why do I know that? Because uh, you are hired for uh, your potential, and you are paid for your performance. So that's what I know. And I'm pretty sure you know this. You're hired for your potential because people are not have not yet experienced your performance, and what they pay for is going to be for your performance from then on. Then on, you're constantly going to be gauged on how you're going to be performing. So if you're really keen on, if you're actually able to see the value of this training that I'm delivering to you, and if you want to enhance on how do you go from a possibility to a potential to to productivity to performance, and hit your best performance and stay at that level, I'll leave a link through which you can just sign up for my webinar and join me live. I'm going to be sharing some practical step by step process just like this, that's going to help you in your personal development journey and help you become a high performance individual. When I say high performance individual, you're going to be living a lifestyle of high performance. If you like that, check out the link and join me live. All right. So this is the fourth point when it comes to practical needs. Coach for for improved performance. And unfortunately, uh, it becomes tricky in the virtual world. It's tricky in the offline world itself, uh, because not many people understand what it actually takes to become a high performance individual, what it takes to live a lifestyle of high performance. Not many know this. Therefore, you cannot implement what you do not know. Right? The fourth one. The fifth one being, the fifth practical need? Plan the implementation of a change. Uh, Let me just give you an example where you know a lot of organizations are going towards or have already started implementing the agile methodologies, the Scrum methodologies of working, methodologies of working. So uh, if your team, if you as a leader, if the whole group is not ready for the change, if you're not ready for the change, practically it's going to it's going to lower the productivity and therefore the performance of the whole team. So how do you plan the implementation of a change? You have to constantly and consistently keep thinking about this. All right, this is the fifth practical need. And even if you showcase that you are helping people with one or more of these practical needs, you are automatically going to be seen as a leader of the group. Not because you, I'm not saying because you want that spotlight. It's because you genuinely care for others. All right. If you got this, uh, leave me a comment. All right. Leave me a comment if you're thinking, or if you're able to see the value of this training, if you think this is practically doable and implementable. Leave me a comment. All right. And also don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This is the fifth one. So what is the result of you doing this consistently over and over and over? The result of this is, when practical needs are satisfied, people are more likely to achieve their objectives and the organization's business goals. This is a natural outcome, isn't it? You meet the personal needs, you meet the practical needs, automatically you're going to see performance improvements in your in individuals, and therefore of the whole group together. All right, this is the first thing I just wanted to share under the effective communication part. So now let's come to the second point here. So now what I'm going to give you, uh, these were some context that I wanted to set. Now let me give you a framework. So let's say you get into a state where you really do not know what to do. Like, what is the step one, step two, step three, step four you have to follow so that you can effectively have a communication with your team. This is the framework for you. All right, are you ready for this? All right, this is how it looks like. I want you to start thinking about two things here. First thing being the COH. I actually learned it uh, from one of my mentors, and I think this is the glue This is the glue. This is that ether that's going to keep the whole team together as one unit. It's called the code of honor. In other ways, it cannot be directly correlated to values, but code of honor is what you do with the values. How do you put those values into action? So let's look at what are the codes of honor. If you can, if you these are your guiding principles or your guiding values: esteem, empathy, involvement, share, and support. If you can constantly live by these values and encourage people to live by these values, this code of honor, as I call it, you will see, the effectiveness of your communication automatically increasing and improving. So now let's understand. I guess I already mentioned why code of honor is needed, but let's just go through this again. To address people's personal needs, to feel appreciated, understood, and involved. For you to do all these things, you need to have a value system, which is kind of a guiding principle, guiding uh, star for you to know what are the things that I have to keep in mind while taking care of people's personal needs and practical needs. Okay, this is the first thing. The second part here, the framework, the actual framework that you can start following right away is this. Let's look at this interaction guideline. How do you get into an effective interaction, effective communication? First step is open, like open the conversation, all right? Open the communication. Second one is clarify, because clarity always gives confidence. If you can give clarity to the individual, they can make decision faster. If they're making decision faster, they take action. If they take action, you as a team, you're going to get results. Or even you as an individual, you're going to get results faster. All right. Second is clarify. Clarify on, is that exactly what they mean when I say this, and this? Clarify with them. Step three is develop. Well, let develop on that. So ask them if they have some substantial statistics or some kind of research that can back their whatever they're trying to mean there. All right, develop, and then agree to that. So you have to come to an agreement. Only then a decision is actually being made. It can be an agreement you have with yourself, or you are getting into an agreement with someone else. Only then the decision is being made. So once you agree, just clarify that, is this what you're actually meaning, and then go about with this. And once you do this, the last step is close. All right. So got this. Uh, just let me know, or in fact, I want you to put these 5 steps in the chat box below, so that it reinforces your learning. I'm pretty sure you're taking notes, but just put it in the chat box below. Step one: open, clarify, develop, agree. And once you agree, just clarify again, just in case there are some pieces missing. It can go again to develop and agree, and then close. All right. Try this out. Even if you're not doing every step, at least start off with this: open, clarify, develop. Open, clarify, develop, then agree. Sometimes it takes a little time for you to get into an agreement. At least open, clarify, develop. Ask more questions, get into some kind of a conclusion there. Why is this framework needed? Why is this framework actually needed? Because to meet the practical needs of achieving the objectives. All right, this is uh, just go back to the practical needs that I just spoke about, and see that this is actually going to help you meet all those practical needs. Okay, so those value system, the code of honor, that's going to help you meet those personal needs. It's going to be the kind of guiding force, and this framework that you just learned is going to help you with those practical needs. So both the needs can be met. All right. So I hope you're loving this training. If you're loving this training, I want you to actually leave a like and subscribe, because I'm going to be sharing things like this which can actually help you improve your quality of life and help you or advance you into becoming, or in fact leading, a high performance lifestyle. All right. This is the second point, and let's come to the third one. The third one is a few practical tips I just want to share. while you're implementing this foundation of effective communication. The first one being pay close attention to each person during meeting, uh, just by paying close attention. So if they're on camera, much easier. Even otherwise, even by hearing them out, understanding their energy levels, understanding their tone, see if they're fearing to open up. A lot of times you'll see that a lot of people do not even open up. Jot it down, observe the level of engagement, go back to a one-on-one conversation, help them with that, understand their personal needs, understand their practical needs. All right, all these tips are again to help you understand their practical, their personal needs. Got this? Just let me know in the chat box if you got what I'm actually sharing with you here. The second tip is, yeah, this is, I think it's very important that you smile when you talk. You can easily figure out if you're on camera. Even otherwise, if you smile, you will immediately get a response, even if it's an audio call. Just try this. Smile, people can recognize it. People can recognize that happiness, that energy, that positivity in your voice. The smile, give me a smiley in the chat box if you're going to do this. Just smile and talk, people can recognize this. This is the second practical tip. uh, Third one being, stand when you're presenting, if that's a possibility. A lot of times in a lot of meetings I feel like, when I feel that my energy levels are going down, I stand up. I'm not on camera, but I stand up and I just keep talking. So automatically your energy level rises up. Your In fact, just by standing up, study shows that your blood pressure drops. So if you're constantly getting tensed or something like that, just stand up, take a walk, stand up and talk, and this is going to help you out. All right. Uh, this is the third practical tip. Fourth one being, use body language. People will hear and read it as you move. More so when you're on a camera, but if 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 it's on um, just a voice thing, see if you can change your voice modulation. Yeah, see how you can effectively communicate through those things. The fourth tip. All right. The fifth one being, don't just nod your head. Verbalize your yes and no. This funny incident happened. Right, I was in Japan to complete a project there. Uh, so one of the members of the Japanese team, they come to me and they ask, uh, Karthik-san. So that's how they address people. So Karthik, so can you help me understand this? I was like, what is it? So he said, when I ask someone in your team, some of them nod like this. He literally did this. Some of them nod like this. Some of them nod in a very different way. How should I understand this? Is it a yes or a no or a don't know? How should I understand that? So I said, I just ask them. Just ask them to verbalize it, because even I don't know. A lot of ways we communicate in India, but when there are cultural differences, right? It's important that you verbalize, and not just about gestures. Use both. All right, you got this. Let me know if you have faced any of these kind of incidences while communicating, because of the cultural differences that we have. Or rather, instead of saying cultural difference, I would like to use the word cultural diversity that you have in your team. Just let me know in the comment box. All right, this is the fifth one. The sixth one being, be aware of your tone, feelings, and emotions can be heard. This is a fun fact. All right, I think what I'm going to share is a fun fact. Fun fact is, over 33%, or one third of men on this planet, one third of men on this planet have no clue, have no clue about what is the tone that they are using while they're speaking. Can be trained, but naturally they have no clue. So you will hear some people talking and you'll think, this person is actually so arrogant. Look at the tone that he uses. But if you ask this person, he's not aware of the tonality that he has. This is a interesting finding that I just wanted to share. So uh, now that you know this, be aware of your tone, feelings, and emotions can be heard. It can be heard, it can be misunderstood. So you can actually say, you know what, uh, although I speak a little louder, but that does not mean I'm disrespecting you. You can actually say this. It can be, more useful in a one-on-one conversation. Some people, they feel overwhelmed when you go with a lot of the power position, the lot of command in your voice and tone. People can get overwhelmed, so you can actually be upfront and talk to them about this. You know what, I'm working on my tone, but I talk this way, but that does not mean I'm disrespecting you. I'm just that I'm excited, therefore I'm doing it this way. Okay, you can work on this. You can talk about this to people. So this is the sixth one. I hope you're getting some real good value by watching this. Let me know in the comment box. All right. The seventh one being vary your pace, volume, and pause for emphasis. So very, very important. Just don't say, okay, guys, thank you so much. Today, it's a very important day. Mm, can you let me know if you're available at 6 o'clock for a meeting? It's important. No, no, no. That's the importance is gone when you do not vary the pace, do not vary the volume. Slow down, increase the volume, change the tone, be aware of all these things. It's automatically going to help people understand. Okay, all right. So uh, till now he was speaking differently. Now he's speaking a little differently. Maybe I should pay attention. Got the point? So just try this out. This is the seventh tip that I can share with you now. Set ground rules with your virtual teams. When I say ground rules, if there is some, all of a sudden there's a field kind of an issue happening, there's a bug reported, what is the mode of communication we are going to use? Are we just going to use messaging? Are we going to email each other? Are we going to WhatsApp each other? Are we going to call each other? What is it that you're going to use? What are the ground rules? So if I drop your mail, what is the turnaround time I can expect before which you can give me a response? If I drop your message, what is the turnaround time? Especially when the situation is critical. Ground rules, code of honor. So respecting people is one, and acting on respect can be a value. You can say, oh, you know what, Karthik, we follow respect as a value in our team. Great. How are you putting that into action? How do you respect people? By responding to their messages on time, by returning their call, by being there for them. If you're not there, at least informing people that you're not going to be there from this time to this time. That's how you put that value of respect into action. That's called a code of honor. Got this? So set the ground rules with your virtual teams, and this is really going to amplify the way people interact with each other. This is These are the 8 practical tips you can use immediately. As I mentioned, this is the promise I did before the start of the video. Even if you have a meeting 5 minutes from now, even by implementing one or two of these things, you will see that your communication is going to effectively actually increase, in fact, skyrocket. All right. These are the 3 things that you can start doing for the first foundation in this training, which is effective communication. Let's come to the second part of this. Let's come to the second foundation of this training now. The second part of this training is about building trust. So now that you understand how can you effectively communicate, the 2 things that you have to take care of, just go back and watch. You directly jumped onto this part of the video. So go back and watch what does foundation 1 mean, and what are the things, how do you effectively communicate. All right. Second one being building trust. How do you do this? How do you do this in a virtual kind of a setup? How do you do this with distributed teams? First one being listen and respond with empathy. Listen and respond with empathy. It's not about hearing, listening, listening to not just the words, listening to the feelings and emotions that are that are that are generating these kind of words. So now, and if you're not on video calls or anything like that, this becomes a very, very, very important thing for you to do. Pay attention to what people are saying. Listen and respond with empathy. So let's see what's coming under this. All right. The first thing is uh, when you do this, it shows that you value what people have to say. personal needs are constantly going to be met. Second one being shows that you can be relied upon to you know fulfill. If you can give this undivided attention to people, uh, what does that actually mean? It means that you're actually what they say means something of importance to you. What they say actually is worthwhile, and people are going to rely upon you more. Okay, relied upon. Let me just change this. Because of your undivided attention. This is what it means. So this is the second thing that you have to start following. The third thing is shows that you have heard and understood their feelings. As I said, it's not just about listening to the words, it's hearing beneath that. What is it that's causing this low energy? What is it that's causing this negative usage of words? I don't think I can actually finish this. Why are some people saying this? Uh, are they facing some personal challenges? Are they actually stuck? Are they not able to make decisions? You will get to understand if you can listen and respond with empathy. So this is the third point. The fourth point being showcase care and respect by using, uh, by responding to both facts of the situation and the feelings that the person is expressing. So it's not just about always looking at the numbers and asking questions on that. It's you have to use both. You have to respond to facts, and you have to also respond to feelings, facts and feelings. So easy to remember, right? Facts and feelings. Respond to both. So that's when you can showcase empathy towards that person. Fifth one being diffuse negative emotion. As said, if someone is having that negative words that are coming out, probably they are stressed out. So probably the personal and the practical needs are not getting met. Get back to them one on one, diffuse negative emotions, and get back. All right. This is one of the things that you can do. The sixth one is empathize with positive feelings too. As I said, uh, negative emotions spread like wildfire. So if it's a group conversation and someone is having or spreading this negative feeling, negative emotion, it can spread very fast among others. So if that's the case, immediately h- tell them that I'll get back to them one on one. I'll get back to you one on one. We'll discuss this out. But just empathize with positive feelings at that moment, and then help this person come out of those things. All right. The six things um, that you can do, or rather, when you respond with empathy, these are the six things that you have to start following if you want to do this. These are the six ones. So let's go to the next one. So how do you build trust? Point number two: share thoughts, feelings, and rationale. So it's not just about you listening to their feelings and stuff, but you also sharing from your end your thoughts, feelings, and rationale. So use the principle of share, or the code of honor. uh, Look at how do you implement this value of share and put that into a workable model. How do you share your emotions? How do you share your failures in a way that you are showcasing that, okay, you know what, yeah, probably I'm a little bit more experienced than you, but I also make mistakes. Be a little bit more vulnerable. All right, this is one thing that you can do. Second one is share how you use strength to compensate weakness. Your strength can be your team. So I can tell them, you know what, this team is helping me address some of the things which I was actually struggling with in the past, which I'm working on. So I really want to thank this team for helping me cover my blind spots, something like that. All right. So this is the second thing. So your vulnerabilities and imperfections, as I said, it's not about you portraying yourself as a very perfect human in being or individual. We all have our imperfections. We all have those blind spots, and we need help to move forward. If you have this in your mind, you will automatically showcase that vulnerability. And I'm going to share some practical tips later on. But Think about how you can share these things. Fourth one being lessons learned about your decisions that have led to unwanted consequences, unwanted outcomes. You can talk about your lessons learned. For example, in one of the decision making workshop, um, uh, I shared this thing that no, the past companies, when people were asked about their opinion on should we change our office location from this place to the other place, a lot of people, some people said yes, some people said no, and a lot of people were not saying anything. After the decision was made, you know what I told them? If you're not getting involved in the decision making process, it automatically means that you're going with the majority. That's one way of looking at it. Or it can automatically mean that you're not going with the majority or you're going with the minority. So if you have an opinion, it's important that you voice it out. Does not matter if you think it's right or wrong. Because someone is asking you, you always have that option, always have that choice to voice your opinion so that a decision can be made faster. All right. God, just let me know. Or give me a smiley in the chat box if you've done this. I've done this. I've stayed quiet during decision making time. That has had kind of different repercussions later on. So if you've been there, done this, leave a smiley in the chat box. All right. That's the fourth thing. So now let me give you some few practical tips and pitfalls to avoid. Pitfalls to avoid. First one being avoid sharing information that's confidential or too personal. Doing so can obviously make someone uncomfortable. Let's say you got into a one-on-one conversation with one of your team members. This person shared that what I'm actually dealing with this kind of a health issue. Because of that, I'm unable to focus too much. So I'm just taking kind of breaks in between. So you're like, okay, fine. Make sure to take care of your health. Let me know what kind of help you want. And let's say in a group discussion, you because you're someone who's wanting to empathize, someone who wants to build the trust. Let's say you say, hey, you know what, this guy is struggling with this kind of a health issue, and therefore let's help him out. Your intention might be to actually to help this person out, but you're also giving away some personal information which this person actually spoke to you one on one. You cannot do that. You have to be mindful of that, and you have to be very careful on what kind of information you are giving away. Don't put the other person on the spot. Don't make them feel uncomfortable. So be careful with that. All right. This is the first thing. The second one being, don't turn the focus of the conversation on you instead of discussing the other person's concerns. A lot of times, have you seen this? Yeah, I know this. Uh, some people starts off sharing their problem, and this person goes on and say, you know what, I when I traveled to this and this place, when I was in this situation, when I encountered this thing, and the conversation goes off track and it's all about them. Don't do that. You can give the instance and you can tell them, these are the lessons that I learned, and I hope this you can try these things out. Get back to them. It's not about you always. All right, got this. uh, this is the second thing that you can use. Third one is relying on just one method. Like some people always keep sharing their stories. Some people, it's always about what they did and what they failed at. But just mix and match it up. All right, don't have the same way of dealing with sharing your thoughts and feelings and emotions. Just have a variety in that. Something you have to really watch out for. Can be a pitfall if you don't follow this properly. Providing unsolicited or unwanted advice. Sometimes people just want to express their emotions. So when people just come to you and if you just keep on giving them advice, they are going to be pissed off and they're not going to open up with you next time. Let me share with you this this fun fact. All right. uh, have you had an idea of the emotional therapy sessions or something of the sort, where all the thing that they do, the person sitting there is just simply sit there and listen to all that you talk for an hour. And you know what, after that, after this person has just blurt it out in front of the therapist, uh, that's it, the problem is actually not there. So just understand this, that a lot of times all that people want is they want to be heard. So if you're really concerned about that, you can just hear them out, uh, look at how you had tackled this in your life. Give them some advice and tell them that I understand you, you are going through this. See if this can help, or seek help from others. All right, got this? Uh, if you think these are practical things, let me know in the comment box. We are still not done with the training. All right, we're just in the second foundation. So now let's get on to foundation number 3. Let's see what's coming here. Foundation number 3 is about visibility, and I leave a link so that you can download the whole thing, the whole mind map in a while. I'll leave a link below within this video so that you can grab this whole mind map and start using this on a day-to-day basis. All right, so what's visibility? What does it mean? So there are 3 types of visibilities: the visibility between your organization and your team, and it's your duty as a leader or anyone who wants to uh, showcase or interface between your organization and your team. It's your duty to do these steps. All right, let's go one by one. What's the first thing that you have to do? Spotlighting important organizational news and information. Let's say there's some town hall that's coming up. um, let's say your leader or your manager missed mentioning about this, so you can talk about, uh, I heard this news. Is it important that we have to attend it? Especially in a virtual world, it's very important that you know what are the meetings that you have to attend, because in an offline world, if you're in office, you know that people are going there anyway, you'll go with them. All right, virtual world, you have to ask this or spotlight. Promote messages from senior leaders. So some in one of the uh, I got a mail from one of our senior leaders saying, "Thank you for uh, winning this award. Just pass on this message to the team." And in the next stand-up, I just congratulated the team members, promoted this message from senior leaders, so that they know what they're doing is actually uh, getting recognized. So it's very important. The third one that you have to do is publicize team photos. You just have some fun photos of the team members. A lot of times it so happens that you've not even seen the other person who's in your virtual team. So collect individual photos from people, do a collage, and just publish it in one of your internal social media platforms or something like that, professional platforms. All right. Fourth one is broadcast team accomplishment. So if you have again a network or a internal medium through which you can talk about the team accomplishments, talk about what the team did this week, this quarter, this month, please do that. Please share those accomplishments. This is the first thing when it comes to visibility. How are you enhancing the visibility between your organization and between your team? All right. Let me know if this is useful. Let me know which one among these things you're going to start working on. Let me know in the comment box. And if you've directly skipped the other part, I would highly recommend that you go through the whole video, because this is going to be giving you practical implementable steps, one after the other, how you can actually grow into a digital leader. Okay, so this is the first thing. Second thing is about the visibility between you and your team members. So let's see what comes under this. The first thing you have to look at is how do you have great visibility between you and your team members. So look at the long term goals. Look at what are the release goals that you have, and see how people are breaking them for their own personal productivity. All right, this is the first thing you have to do. Break the long term goals into short term ones, so that you have daily actionable items, and ask these questions: what is your objective for this week? And when you ask this, you'll realize that some people are well prepared, some people are not so well prepared, and you just have to handhold them and help them through that. Breaking down long term goals into short term action items. First thing, so that you have better visibility between yourself and your teammates. Conduct frequent progress checks, and don't turn out into a micromanaging monster. Don't turn out into micromanaging monsters. It's just to check if people are doing the right things, and if people need help, if their personal practical needs are getting met. That's the intention. Go with that intention. All right. So the third one being recognize and reward achievements. Don't hesitate for this. Whenever you think someone is doing good, drop a text, drop a mail, recognize if there is a program within your organization. Check with your manager how you can recognize this individual and just do it formally, informally. All right. Very, 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 very important. If you even start doing this one thing, you will see a lot of improvement within how the member or the team is going to function. The third visibility that you have to enhance, and if you're liking this and if you really want to enhance yourself as an individual and uh, become a high performance individual, not just productive but a high performance individual, as I mentioned before, I'll leave a link through which you can join my live webinar and catch up with me live. A 90-minute session, I'm going to be giving you practical tips so that now you're learning about how you can become a digital leader, but then you're going to be learning about how you can practically improve yourself and be on a consistent personal development journey. All right, so check out the link and do sign up for that. And the third part when it comes to visibility is about visibility between each members, between your team members, because a lot of times they're working in silos and they a lot of times it happens that same two people are working on the same task without knowing that this is what they're doing, and when they check in the code or something, they get conflicts and they realize, oh, I shouldn't have probably picked this up because it's already being worked upon. Right. So first thing is spark a collective chat. This more not oriented towards just the project, but even otherwise, add people into a collective chat. In fact, I used to do Friday fun day kind of things where we just used to catch up and discuss on some other topics outside of work, and that really enhances the engagement and productivity between team members. All right, this is the first thing that you can try out. Display progress towards goals. If there is a display and if there is this forward movement happening, if they can visually see that, that's going to motivate people to go forward faster. Second one is post personal profiles of each team members, obviously with their permission. Don't do it without their permission, but yeah, share each member's location on Google Earth. It's going to be a fun activity. See how we are all connected in spite of being spaced out so much geographically. Just try this out and let me know how this went. Just open Google Earth, drop all those locations of all the people's wherever they are connecting from, and in one of the calls, just show them, see how well we are connected in spite of so well distributed geographically. Easy thing to do. Will you do this? Let me know in the chat box. All right, so this is the third thing you can do. And the fourth thing is share online calendars. Ask people to keep other team members informed on their out of office notice if they're not available during certain times, and all that increases the visibility between team members. All right. And the fifth and the final one is about create a fun sense of community. So the bigger objective of doing all this is to help you build a community of people where their personal practical needs are met, and where as a unit you're all moving towards and contributing towards the organization's mission, vision, and goals. I hope this gave a lot of insight, a lot of practical tips and value into how you can start leading virtually in spite of the position, in spite of the roles and responsibilities that you have. If you have, if you can make the choice, you can start leading virtually. And these are some practical implementable steps you can start using right from now. And as I said, as I promised during the start of this training, if you have a meeting an hour away from now, you can make use of this and immediately your you know enhance the productivity of the overall team, and also start showcasing that you are trained to get to that next level of leadership and leading teams virtually. All right, so I hope this was some useful things. I hope it was a time well spent for you. If so, just subscribe to this channel. Do drop a like and comment, and I'll read it out, and I'll definitely respond back to you very, very soon. Thank you for being here and watching this till this moment. I'll catch you with more such valuable content very, very soon. Thank you. Until then, this is Karthik signing off. Take care.